Hi everybody, welcome to Lost on the Lanes. This one's just me, Kev. It's March 2025. We're in Agadir on the Atlantic coast in West Morocco, and I'm here to learn how to ride on sand and have a great time. We're just about to board the bus to get the bikes. That's Enduro Explorer, which is run by a gentleman called Samir, who you'll see in a bit. He owns the bikes and operates the tour company. Paul and Louise had organised it in the UK in conjunction with him. That's Louise there. The bikes are almost brand new, 450 EXCs, and they're really well looked after.
Good morning, good morning!
We're now heading off. We're going to go back to Agadir, round the ring road, get some fuel. There are 8 of us all together, including Samir.
Here we go, leaving. Samir is in front, the orange rucksack.
So Agadir is on the western coast of Morocco. We're just going to be heading south down the coast to about this level with the Canary Islands.
Hi all. I know this is a video of Kev in Morocco, but I couldn't resist getting involved. Obviously the channel is Lost on the Lanes and it's Sophie and Kev, so here I am putting my 5p worth in. To give you a bit of background, the reason that Kev first went on this trip was because I went on the same trip with a few girly friends and Louise and Paul out to Morocco to Samir and Enduro Explorer back at the beginning of December last year, and had such a fantastic time that when Kev got the opportunity this year, he snapped it up. It was great having Louise and Paul on this end, organising everything from our side, and their collaboration with Enduro Explorer meant that we had a local guide and local support, and all that knowledge was super useful.
I don't think any of us had, well, apart from Louise and Paul, had ridden on sand for any length of time. So it's all very new to us. At this point we're getting very close to where we're going to go onto the sand for the first time, so we pull over and get a little bit of a briefing and reminder as to what to do when we're on the sand.
And what all that support means is that the few riders that are on each trip, you get 3 people riding with you that are supporting you and have knowledge of the area and the terrain and how to ride that terrain, and give you a bit of support and indicators of what to do, but also have 1 or 2 people in the support truck to help if anything were to go wrong with bikes, etc. As always, we really appreciate you watching these videos. As Kev said last time, it helps to build morale when we see the views go up, and obviously the subscribers as well. So this is the plea to please subscribe if you're watching this video and enjoying what we do. It makes a huge difference. We're not monetized, but it certainly helps encourage us to do more. So I'll leave you now to get on with Kev, and thanks a lot and enjoy.
on second queue until you arrive at the water. Okay? I'm going to be head on this.
Now we're on the sand for real. Basically, you start off in second gear. As soon as you move in, change up to third, lean back, use the torque of the engine to get traction, get up to about 20 kilometres an hour, and at that point, the front wheel starts to ride over the sand. You can steer by weighting the footrests, and the faster you go, the easier it gets. It's quite hard work riding in the sand if you've not done it before. I was drinking I drank 2 litres of water before lunch whilst riding the bike. It's really quite exhausting. The scenery is absolutely breathtaking. The sea is blue, the sand contrasts against it really well. We finished off the day in a great hotel called After Strip and had, we didn't have any well-earned beers actually because it was Ramadan. We wanted to respect the customs, so we just had Coca-Cola. We had lovely food and the sunset was incredible. We did about 100 or so kilometres on the first day. This is the beginning of the next day. We're leaving After Strip and we're going to do not sand riding. So we did some tracks, as you'll see. As you can see, the terrain has changed significantly. There's a lot of washouts that we have to keep crossing over. It's best, if you're going a bit faster than this, to pull the front wheel up a little bit and just hop across them. The landscape though is still stunning despite not being near the sea. And at least we could read this landscape so we could see what the terrain was actually doing, unlike on sand, which is very, very difficult to read if you're not used to it. As usual on this video, you can't see how steep this is. It's a lot steeper than it actually looks, but you just can't get it on video. We're on hard, compacted gravel and sand. We can feel it all through the suspension. That's the good thing about when you're on pure sand. It's very, very smooth. It's like riding across a mattress. I'm waving other Kev and the others off in here so I can get footage from behind them. There's Louise. Look at the sky though, how blue is that? It's gorgeous. This was just a massive bowl of red dirt that just seemed to go on forever. Back at the road. No sign of our support van. That's got all of our luggage on, and they normally met us, well always met us at the hotel. And our luggage was ready to take into our rooms when we arrived.
A motorway.
It's one of many checkpoints we went through. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but there's no registration plates on the bikes. I asked Samir about this, and he said they just get smashed off, so they don't bother fitting them, and nobody cares. Well, this is coming to the end of the second day riding, and we're going to go past the hotel there on the right hand side. That's the hotel we're going to stop at tonight, Hotel Beaugerif. But before we do, we're going to carry on past it and go to the actual Fort Beaugerif. Fort Beaugerif was built by the French army in 1935 during the final phase of the colonial campaigns in southern Morocco, and its aim was to subdue the resistant tribes before World War II started. It's on the high ground overlooking the Oued Assaka River. It's about 6 kilometres from the Atlantic, and it's near what was the Spanish enclave of Sidi Ifni. And it was a border control point and a military stronghold. The fort itself was vacated by the French in 1956 after Moroccan independence, and then it was briefly used by Moroccan forces until 1969, when Spain ceded Sidi Ifni, and then it later fell into ruin, and it's still falling into ruin now. Now heading back to the hotel. This is one of my favourite places during the whole holiday. Hotel Beaugerif. Looks like a fort. It's not. It's a purpose-built hotel. There's camping, there's rooms, they were all en suite, the ones we were in. And it's very busy, and a great restaurant as well. The room I stayed in is dead ahead now, and I think we parked the bikes up and went and had well-earned beer. day 3, and we're heading off cross country towards the beach, where we're going to have a play in the dunes and drive on the beach. The weather was really good throughout the whole week. It rained once, I think. It's pretty normal to rain in March. It's just the season for it. But the skies were clear. Look at that. It's absolutely perfect. It couldn't be better riding weather, really. If it had been hotter, it probably would have been too hot for what we were doing.
I'll wait for you down. We'll wait at the top till you're all down. Yeah, you stay on the top.
I just speak about it.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Hold it right at the top.
But in the beginning it's a little bit scary.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
why I talk about it.
Yeah.
But as you see, the bike can do it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. I'm thinking exactly the same thing.
Same thing?
I'm just thinking of the environment. Yeah, like I stalled pretty much immediately. Yeah, me too. I think that's the steepest thing I've ever come down.
Yes.
Woohoo! Nice one, start. Good man. Oh dear. This steep one. Yeah. Maybe the first gear I would have come down and
This part was the highlight of the day for most of us, I think. The drop down, bit of a technical path onto the beach, and then we were riding on slightly wet sand, and we just opened the bikes up and headed south. It was really, really good. Once you move in, it's just like driving on tarmac. You just need to look out for the seagulls and the flamingos, unusually. The seagulls always take off into wind, and Samir was in front. He tended to scare them off a bit, so they weren't taking off when we were going past. now they're really moving. I think at this point I touched 90 kilometers an hour. It felt like about 190 kilometers an hour. But it was so exhilarated. It's one of the best things I've ever done on a motorbike.
This is one of life's experiences.
The feeling is just incredible.
That's ridiculous, that, isn't
I
it?
did that many times,
Yeah.
and the feeling is the same.
I don't know that.
The sort of freedom,
Yeah.
you know.
You couldn't capture that and show someone else.
No. If you don't
Have-
experience it,
You have to be
you
in it.
cannot count it. Now,
Yeah.
That's crazy, that, isn't it?
crazy.
It's brilliant.
Liberty.
Yeah,
Liberty.
Yeah.
it's so stable.
And now we head into the dunes. I think we all fell off at one point at this, where we were. As soon as you touch the front brake, that's it, you just fall off. The only good part of that is the sand's very soft. So you just have to remember to keep your mouth shut. Otherwise you end up with a mouthful of sand. And you'll see in a minute how to get going. Start in second gear. There we are. And then not too many revs. As soon as you start moving, paddle, change up. That's it. Float across the top. We had a bit of a play on the beach. This is a slow race. It was my idea, and well, it probably was, because I'm quite good at it. If you dig your front wheel into the sand, you can actually stand up and not move at all. But if not moving wasn't allowed in this, you had to be moving all the time.
Three, 2, 1, go!
On the far right. It's just a matter of jiggling your brakes around.
Help! Not bad. Not bad. Johnny's not doing bad. Veneer and Kev. Just Johnny's over, not bad. Not bad. Ow! And it's Kev. Kev all day long. All day long. All day long. Well done. This time, we're going to do the longest rear wheel skid. So, accelerate to where I am, snap the back brake, and do the longest skid.
Then we head back inland and head back to the hotel for the evening for some more delicious food. All the accommodation and food was included in the price, and all we had to do was buy our beer.
No, you go. I'm videoing you. Tourist truck. Yeah. It's a 6x6 bus or something.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I was just saying, I just wanted to do. That road was so chattery.
Yeah.
Right, turn right.
It's the beginning of day 4 and it's time to start heading north. Most of the day was spent not on the sand. We did find an excellent track that ran up an old riverbed. There was a landslide at one point that we had to cross over. It was a really good day, and it's always very difficult to show how steep things are on video, and this is no exception to that. This is actually quite a steep climb. It was stunning scenery, quite warm today, and we headed back towards the hotel, which stopped out on the way down after this trip. But unfortunately, a few hours after this footage was taken, here's one of the landslides actually that we came across. It started raining, so we headed back to the hotel for an early pint.
Will you all please remember to keep your distance? Because if one goes down in front of you, bloom, and then you run him over.
Paperwork's horrendous.
Day 5, and we're heading back to the beach to have some fun.
Go down.
Even going down the dunes, it's important to keep the gas on, otherwise you just lose the front if you don't get enough speed on.
Traction. Jesus Christ. Take. But it's all right, mate.
And then I put a cross in at the end.
Yeah.
You're going up and then you think, you think it's going to be wide, then it comes in. Yeah. And the front end is going all over the place.
Yeah. Holy schmoly. No. Did it though, didn't we?
Huh?
We did it though.
Were you able to ride just straight across where I fell off in the end?
Yeah.
Fair dues, yeah.
Psychological that, I just can ignore it.
So when you fall off, there's a couple of things to remember. The first one is it's not really going to hurt because you're on sand. The second one is to keep your mouth shut, otherwise it gets full of the sand.
Yeah, I'm okay. Hang on. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, let's see. Yeah. Good, thanks. Whew. There's a lorry outside.
After we'd finished on the beach, we're heading back to Samir's place by road, went through the town of Agadir, and then we came across this on the ring road. It's a lorry that's tipped over. No doubt, if this had happened in the UK, this roundabout would have been closed. It would have been absolute mayhem, but not in Morocco. Everything just carries on as normal. Then in the blink of an eye, we were back at Samir's place, Enduro Explorer. He did a really good job of organising everything. It was all very professional. All of the bikes behaved impeccably. There was no problems at all with any of them. I can highly recommend if you ever get the chance. He speaks 7 or 8 languages, I believe. There's a lot of German people, Dutch people, French, English, all over the world people go to him. And Louise and Paul did an amazing job organising it as well. So thanks to everybody.
Much appreciated. Really, really.
Kevin.
Thank you, that's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I know all the lads on the trip are ready for another one next year. So fingers crossed.
Oh, Jesus.